Homeschooling isn't always picture perfect. Welcome to Homeschooling with Dr. B, where we'll help you find solutions to the challenges you face and celebrate your successes with you. Now, please welcome your host, Dr. B.
Welcome, my tenacious homeschool tribe. Today I'm going to talk about curriculum overbuy. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of us homeschool moms are guilty of this, especially when we first start off homeschooling, is we get overexcited about curriculum. Like, I remember one time we were really into science and I purchased chemistry, physics, and astronomy books. At this point, I only had the twins, so I bought 3 sets of books because I always have the same book that they're reading. I don't just buy the teacher manual, I also buy the student manual, and I read it along with them and we work on them together. And I never used the astronomy book. And even if I wanted to use it now, it wouldn't do me any good. The kids have overgrown it. They'd be bored out of their minds because the level of writing was meant for a much younger group. Now, why did I buy so many science books at once? They were on sale. I liked the program. I liked the publisher. And I really thought that we could get through all of them. And there's a possibility that we might have had we not moved. But we did. So I'm stuck with these pristine brand new books that we're not going to use. And it's not the only time I've done this. At one point, I met some families that were really into classical conversations. And I decided to go to the classical conversations introductory. It's like 2-3 day meeting. I don't even remember what it's called anymore. So I go to this thing and I become so excited and I take the kids and the kids are participating. And I decide we're going to do this. We're going to become a classical conversations family. So what do? I buy tons of the stuff. And I use, I think, like 1% of it. And I still have it all. What happened? Well, part of the reason that we do the overbuy is because we become very excited about the curriculum. It seems like really good curriculum. It sometimes is really good curriculum. But sometimes, for whatever reason, it just doesn't work out with your family. And in this case, we moved. No, we don't move all the time. It was the same big move. And so we moved to the Caribbean and there was no classical conversation groups in the Caribbean. I tried to start one, but the island we were at, everybody's really spread out and it didn't make logical sense to drive an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half to get together. And the way the program was set up, it didn't really make sense to do it by ourselves. I also found out that despite the fact that I really liked the program, there were some things that just didn't mesh with the kids. Our family believes in God. We attend church. I would love to tell you that we attend church every Sunday. That would be a blatant lie, so I'm not even going to go there. Prior to the pandemic, I'm going to say that we attended church maybe 2 times a month, 3 times a month, on a good month. Rarely in all of our times of being a family, have we gone every single Sunday. And when the kids were younger, we did Bible study because the kids really wanted to incorporate that into their homeschool program. But as they got older, they were no longer interested in doing that. And my daughter came up to me and she said, "You know what, Mom? This thing of having grammar and God together, God doesn't belong in the soup," is what she said. Okay. So, despite the fact that I really like the grammar program in classical conversations, it was not for a family because my kids didn't appreciate having God in the soup. So we went with a different grammar program. The other thing is, I'm a strong believer in adapting curriculum to meet our needs. And here's my IEW story. I love IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing, I think. I love it. My kids picked it up really fast. We zoomed through that program. And really, by the time that we got through, I'm going to say maybe 6 of the writing books, the kids were already writing full essays, college level essays. They knew the structure. And so continuing the program just didn't seem applicable. So we didn't. Because once you learn the structure, practice makes perfect. And that's what we focused on. And they are absolutely excellent writers. In fact, we've had friends who have college kids who are blown away by our kids. Our kids are better writers, better at grammar, better at articulating their ideas. So we're doing okay. But we did start with IEW. And then they outgrow things. Narnia was one of them. They were really into the Narnia books. Into guess what? They were not into the Narnia books anymore. We were not done reading the series. And we are going to complete it. We have 2 more books. See, right here. The Last Battle and The Silver Chair. Last 2 books of the Narnia series. We will complete it, but primarily because we're doing it in a co-op setting. Otherwise, guess what? Those books would go unread. We are ready to move on. And that's what happens when you get carried away buying curriculum. One of the big things, though, is you will go to a conference and there's a sale and you go, oh, this is such a great opportunity. I'm going to save so much more money. Here's the thing. You'll save more money if you don't buy it. I know. What a concept, right? It took me a while to catch on to that one. Don't buy it. There's a good chance someone in your homeschool groups, the Facebook groups, the playgroup groups, the meetup groups has purchased this curriculum and is not using it. They're more than happy to unload it to you for a much cheaper price than you're going to find it at the conference. Or they might even loan it to you so you can try it out and see how it fits for your family. And if it really works out, you can always go buy your own copy or buy it off of them. But that way you don't end up with a lot of curriculum that you never used. And that is another resource that we don't really understand and explore in our early years. When you go to these meetups, these moms have committed the same mistake. They overbuy curriculum. It's a constant theme in these meetup groups. Oh, I bought this stuff and I never use it. I don't know why I bought it. Guess what? Offer to buy it off of them. They'll sell it to you at a much cheaper price. If no one has the curriculum as excess, then, and if somebody's using it, ask to borrow it from them. Try it out before you spend a couple $100 purchasing curriculum that you're not going to use because it doesn't work for your family, because you can't adapt it the way that you want to, or just because it turns out you didn't like it as much as you thought you would. So try other homeschool moms first. Something else is never underestimate Amazon. Amazon should be your new best friend. Why? Because they sell tons of used books. And I'm going to tell you this as a retired college professor, there typically is no big difference between the 3rd and the 5th edition. They will change 1 or 2 words. Sometimes they find they made a mistake. It was a minor mistake. And they republish the book as a new edition. And they're charging $169 for the new edition. And you can find the used edition for $16. buy the used edition. Don't feel compelled to buy the new one. There is not that big of a difference. Trust me on that one. Also, when you buy curriculum, do a really good internet research because there's tons of additional resource supporting material out there for free. I remember I was using this really good Macmillan grammar book in the girls' early years. I didn't need to buy the workbooks. The workbooks, you can find them online for free and just download them as a PDF. And you're going to find that is the case more and more with textbooks. Now, some textbooks I buy no matter what, but there's a lot of them you can download from the internet on PDF form. There's a lot of free stuff in the internet. And there's also lots of moms that are willing to share the curriculum that they have created with you. You know, I'm about to put up tons of free stuff, worksheets and all this novel studies and lectures that I've created. I'm going to put them out there for free for the beta group. Check them out. You know, I don't know if they'll be ready by the time this video is released, but you can always go back. And I'm definitely putting out things for 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, middle school years. Lots of moms, homeschool moms, find those years are a little bit challenging. So I'm willing to share my resources. The other thing is, who's excited about the curriculum? You or your kids? I've been to a couple of conferences where the moms go to the tables and it's like, oh, this is so exciting. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you buy it and you take it home. And your child looks like, what were you thinking, Mom? I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do that. And you're thinking, but look, this is so exciting. It's exciting to you, not to your child. And well, I don't believe that learning should always be fun. I'm sorry, learning can be a painful process as well. You need to understand that there's certainly some programs where if your child is engaged, it'll be a lot easier to learn. And some moms don't think that way. They think, oh, you know, I found this program and it's great and my kid's going to like it. And the kid acts like they're being tortured with nails. And mom ends up saying, this just didn't work, but you just spent a couple $100 on it. And that's another thing. There's two types of homeschool moms out there when it comes to this curriculum overbuy. There's the mom that says, I overbought. It was a mistake. It's going on the bookshelf. It's going to look nice and pretty. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might sell it. Or maybe not because I paid so much for it. But, but at least I can recover some of the cost. So that type of mom decorates her home with the curriculum and then sells it when they have an opportunity. Then there's the type of mom that I bought it. We're going to use it. The kids are miserable. The kids are making me miserable. But we're going to use it because I paid for it. And if I pay for it, I'm going to get use out of it. But everyone is miserable. And don't underestimate this. If your kids are miserable while you're homeschooling, they'll make certain that you're miserable too. And then you won't want to homeschool because they're miserable, you're miserable. And what's the purpose in that? There's easier ways to live this life. That shouldn't be one of them. So really investigate your curriculum before you decide to purchase it. Don't get carried away by the moment and never get carried away by the sales, because no matter how good the sale is, there will be other sales in the future. There will be other opportunities to buy the curriculum. Don't get caught in FOMO, fear of missing out. There's always curriculum sales. And if you really want to save some money, One of the best and easiest things to do is to join a homeschool buyers co-op. There's some great ones out there where people receive major discounts when they buy through these buyer co-ops. But remember, even then, there's always a sale coming up. So don't worry about it. Take your time and make the best decision for your family. That's really how you save some money and you save some time and you save a lot of aggravation. Hey, help me create a place where moms can find a nurturing space through their homeschool journey by sharing our link through our show on either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, or if you have time, all three. It would really be appreciated. Remember, life can be overwhelming, but homeschooling doesn't have to be. Join our sometimes challenging, but always rewarding homeschool journey by subscribing to our podcast, blog, or YouTube channel. For links and resources, please visit our website. Till next week, enjoy your kiddos.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Homeschooling with Dr. B. Head over to homeschoolingwithdrb.com for more information and resources. That's homeschoolingwithdrb.com. Until next time.